So, welcome to my first real hooking and slicing school video where I show what is possible slicing and hooking. And we say always power slice and power hook, but there's so many more possibilities you can do than just power hook and power slice. It's not only you make a power slice, a power hook, and try to get a huge distance or most yards you can get in a tailwind. You can use it in a headwind as well to go full OP. And yes, you need to dial your holes in. You need another amount of curl in a tailwind than in a headwind. But we will have a look for it on this little video. So always remember, you need to dial it in, and you can use it in very different situations to have fun on the course, and maybe it's a little bit more fun with it. So first is this video. This is for my HIO I done in a tournament. I tried it on many holes. Here I was lucky to get it, but my first shot or my first attempt was so close that I knew what is the wind angle. I looked at it and I knew how much wind it is. Where's my aim point for this? So you will see that you can make in this case a slice shot very precise. So you can hit definitely a fly on the wall or a fly on the bottom. You see, I looked for no OP because I don't want to have OP because I have my landing spot there. And I released it in a full slice, and then you see I hit the spot I was aiming for, and it's a center pin HIO. So this is no magic, it's no nothing, it's just math. Let's go. So Thoth hammer for headwind. This hole in headwind needs a little bit counter curl. In tailwind you need a small amount of curl. So we start with a headwind. A headwind count for Thor's hammer 2 to 6 is 15 rings. Also Thor's hammer 2 until Thor's hammer 6 is 15 rings in a headwind. See, I pull my 15 rings. Then after pulling my 15 rings, I make my wind adjustment. I think it's 2 rings. And then I go full OP, a little bit counter curl, because I don't want to miss the third fairway on the left side, so I needed my counter curl. And we bounce on the fairway, get on the rough and roll out barely on the fairway. But we are on the fairway, we made it. If you have a better club, you can make it in more headwind as well. I changed from a quasar I play normally to a Navi on this one because I wanted to reduce the headwind, and I have only 5 topspin. So 5 topspin counter curl. This landing spot can clear this rough. So we go for the next one. This is again a counter curl slice in headwind. So you watch my center line. This is spot I want to land. So I go with my center line to the left side of the white ring, and I pull 10 rings. Then again with my center line to this middle, and I pull 5 rings. Then I make my wind adjustment for 4.5 miles with 10% elevation. So you need to know the elevation as well for the wind adjustment. And then a little bit counter curl, full slice, full OP, and you will see it bounces very nice there, bounces over, and this is with just 5 topspin and rolls out for a perfect position for the second shot, even if we had headwind. 366 yards. And let's go for the next one. This is a power slice, and you will see I aim a little bit left of the fairway of the second fairway, because the power slice means it's like curl, using curl. And we will land way down there, and then I pull my 16 rings for a tailwind. You see, 16.5 rings, I mean. Should be 16.5 rings. I make my wind adjustment. And stretch out to max to get the full distance. Decent amount of curl. I decided how much curl it is, so you need to dial the shots in. You need always different amount of curls in different winds. You can use it just in a tailwind if you want, but if you do some training, you can do it everywhere, and then you have a beautiful second shot to the pin. This is a little bit interesting. You will see that sometimes you have to think about what you're doing. So I decided this one is a cross tailwind for me. So I pulled my 16.5 rings for Thor's Hammer 226. You see 16.5 rings over there, center line. And then I made my wind pull. But when I do my wind pull or my wind correction, I recognized, damn, this is headwind, you see. And then I decided I have too much rings pulled, 1.5 rings too much pulled. So I decided to reduce the curls and not to do the full counter curl thing, because I was 1.5 rings off to the left. And this was a right decision. You see, we are landing beautiful in the middle of the fairway. And otherwise, we would land in the bunker. I thought it's a tailwind, and I recognized it's a kind of a headwind. So I was 1.5 rings off. I changed my curl in this case. Normally you can shift over 1.5 rings as well and use the same amount of curl, but I decided to do it with the curl because we have a very open fairway or a nice way over there. And we are again in a beautiful position. So no, not this one. We start with this. Again, this is a power slice with Thor's Hammer 4. And we have a tailwind, a tail crosswind, but it's more crosswind than tailwind, but still a tailwind. So I pull you see the center line, 10 rings, and for the tailwind, my 16.5 rings for the Thor's Hammer. Then I make my wind adjustment, 9.6 miles per hour wind at 10% elevation, maybe 5. This is not this in, and stretch out again to max. So now I have my perfect spot. I learned this technique from Fawcett Buck. My slicing before was nice, was okay, and Fawcett Buck, I watched him doing the ring pull and so on, and I recognized that a more accurate pull is way better in all situations. And here you will see we do a no OP slice shot with a sniper, because if I would do a OP, you see, if I now would do a OP shot, I would land in the rough. So I decided to do a no OP slice shot. This means we have numbers for OP and no OP shots. So I pulled here 26, maybe 27 rings, I think 27 rings, because we have a higher elevation to the left side, and I will do the shot without OP, because now you see, if I would use OP, I'm in the rough. Oh, that was not good. Look where we are. So we are back, and there. I pull 10 rings, 20 rings, and I pull 26.5 rings with a Sniper 7. Make my wind correction, and even here as a headwind, I could use a little bit less rings for the headwind, but the elevation and the huge amount of curl needs more rings. So we bounce beautiful on the fairway. We bounce over with a Sniper 7 to a nice attempt for the eagle. And this one is nice as well because a lot of people are struggling here with the attempt to go to the left fairway with lower level clubs. So we have a kind of tailwind. Just pulled around 16 rings because I will perform this shot as a no full OP shot. So I'm between the no OP and the full OP ring. So I decided to go with 15 rings. Wind adjustment, you see just a half of OP, a little bit of curl. And let's fly over to the second fairway pad. You see beautiful, and this is what I try to dial my shots in. If I would go full OP, I maybe end up in the rough. If I go less OP, I have a harder time with the second shot. So yes, you have to dial them in a little bit. It's like a normal drive you dial in as well. How much topspin, how much OP, how much curl, how much side spin. Here it's the same. If you dial your power hooks, power slices, hooks and slices in, easy. And here we're a little bit short. I went 28 rings or 27 rings for a headwind power slice with the sniper, reduced a little bit the curl, and tried to hit with the first bouncer fairway and hop over to the green fairway and maybe on the green. And you see, yes, we made it to the green in a headwind situation with a sniper 7. So this hole is dialed in for an eagle with this kind of shots, and this is very good for me. And you will see, now I show in the next example, here not always do a full blast. You have so many possibilities for slicing and hooking. This will be a hook shot. So I go my 22 rings or 22.5 rings for the sandwich, for the Malibu, and I added a few rings because we pulled uphill. So means we will have more, we need to pull more rings. And see, no OP. Beautiful flying, and we saved us with a no OP shot. And why that? Because if you do a slice shot or a hook shot, you have like a little bit more topspin because the ball has more speed while traveling, and it's like a tailwind shot. Will stretch out the guideline with topspin, so we will travel further and the bounces will be further away than shown. And here's the same. I used it to get an extra topspin because the bouncing is the ball speed is higher, so the rollout is longer. Let's say it like this, and this works beautiful, and it's a lot of fun. And go in 201, 202, 203 and lower tours and try some power slices and power hooks or slice shots and hook shots, just to see what's possible. And there's a lot of things possible. And start with lower winds and wider fairways, and use the method I showed you with the center line or with the other line or something, a reference, to make a nice pull. Then make your wind adjustment, stretch out to max. In a tailwind or in a headwind, you don't need to stretch out to max. And put on a decent amount of curl, what you think you need, and then try to dial him in. Maybe you will sometimes hit the rough or a bunker, but after a while it will be way better. It's like dialing in regular shots. So maybe I can show you another one. So I power sliced, power hooked, sliced and hook shot all tournaments. From Tour 1 to Tour 12, from rookie to master, I do a lot of slice shots or power slices, power hook slice shots, anything like this. And this was the last one. I do this shot with a backspin. Everyone else is doing a straight shot on the right side. I do a backspin power slice. I pulled my rings. And I wanted to clip the rough and roll out. This is in the crosswind especially very nice. or I need less curl and more backspin. So reroll out to the green, and this is 2-12. If you confident with what you're doing, then you can do anything in any two, in any wind, in any situation. Will take time. I made maybe a few thousand slice and hook shots, and power hooks and power slices. But when you have the experience and the practice, you will see it will get so easy, and you will ask, why didn't I use it before? So thank you for watching, and if you have questions, just write it down in the comment section, send me a PM, anything like this, and I will make a few other videos. I decided to go with a Thor's Hammer 4 because it's nice to see the ring pulls with 15 and 16.5 rings. Has a nice amount of curl and 5 topspin, and I think this is for the start a good slicing and hooking school, and then you can do it on all your other clubs. Maybe I post a link from this Jared A. He has a beautiful slicing and hooking school where he explained everything, and in his comment section is an Excel sheet with all the slicing and hooking, full OP, no OP numbers. No, after this, maybe you watch Jared A's hooking and slicing school. I think this is a beautiful base as well, and yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the game, and make some hooking and slicing, and have a little bit more fun in the GolfClash than always do the straight shots, pull your rings, and try to be very close to the hole or not to hit the fairway. Just have some fun. And if you miss, you still have a rough iron or you have a sandwich. So maybe start, if you're playing opponents in higher tournaments, on par fours, where when you miss the fairway, you have still a good chance to reach the green. So enjoy it, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.